You are listening to Arirang Radio's Wonders of Jeju. This is a segment where we tell you about the lives of people living right here on the island. I'm your host, AK. This is Humans of Jeju.
Yay.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone celebrating Thanksgiving. Yes.
Do you have any plans for that?
For Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Here in Korea.
I mean, you used to live in the
yes,
US.
Yes.
So.
Actually, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays.
And
I
no plan
love
today?
turkey, stuffing. I'm just... Oh my goodness.
My
mouth is getting all watery.
Okay.
Yes. I'm missing all the food.
Wow, I never tried turkey. How's it taste like?
It tastes like turkey.
Okay, tastes like turkey. Tastes like turkey.
It tastes like
turkey. I mean,
yes.
it reminds me of this song, like chili. You know, these days, like hwasa,
Oh, yes,
tastes
yes,
like
I
chili.
saw that.
Oh, but anyway, okay. So we're not talking about the turkey, but it's good that we celebrate Turkey Day.
Actually, today's topic could go well with a turkey.
Yes. Okay, so who is the human of Jeju we are introducing today?
So let's listen to today's human of Jeju.
Great.
네, 안녕하세요. 신도리에서 25 양조장이라는 양조장 운영하고 있는 부경철입니다. 25라고 했을 때 많이들 궁금해 하시긴 하더라고요. 제 이름이 25라고 아는 사람들도 있고 아니면은 다른 뜻이 있다라고 생각을 하시는데 25의 뜻은 술이 익을 때 제일 잘 익는 온도가 25도예요. 네, 그래서 그 25라는 숫자를 한글 표기에서 풀어 써가지고 그냥 소리 나는 대로 적어서 25 양조장이라고 짓게 되었습니다.
Would you tell us?
Yes, so today's human of Jeju that we'll introduce is Boo Kyung-chul, the owner of 25 Brewery, which produces various traditional liquors in Jeju. Many people, when they hear the name of the company 25, they are often curious about the meaning of the name. Some actually think that it's actually the name of the owner.
That is true. I thought it was his name.
Yes.
I was curious about the
Our
meaning.
PD-님 thought that too.
I mean, Ishibo sounds like a name of someone, right? So, what else? Like, this is, so what is the meaning of like brewery's name?
So if you listen, closely, if you read the number 25 in Korean, it sounds like Ishibo.
Ishibo.
So that's the meaning behind the name. It refers to the number 25 when the liquor ferments and best temperature for fermentation is 25 degrees. So he wrote the number out in Korean as how it sounds, and it turned out to be the name of the brewery.
What an easy name for
Ishibo.
Ishibo. Because, the Ishibo degrees.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I always learn like new facts here. So I won't forget now, that Ishibo, like 25 degrees is the best temperature for liquor fermentation. But now I'm curious about how the owner started the traditional liquor brewery in Jeju.
So let's hear that directly from him first.
Great.
우선적으로는 저희 증조 할머니께서도 오메기 술이랑 고소리 술을 하셨었고 그 다음에 저도 술을 좋아하고 네 그러다 보니까 좀 크면서 어릴 적 그 모습이 좀 생각이 나더라고요. 저도 대학교 넘어가고 사회생활하고 하면서 그 한국 주류 문화 같은 경우에는 좀 회식 문화라던가 이런 게 많은데 아무래도 과음하는 문화가 많아가지고 좀 별로 좋아하진 않았어요. 그런 부어라 마셔라 하는 분위기를 좋아하지 않았는데 그럴 때 갑자기 그 어릴 적에 그 할머니께서 이렇게 술 하시고 내려주시면은 저는 어렸으니까 못 마시고 동네 사람들이나 아니면은 손님들 오셔가지고 마루에 이렇게 모여 앉아서 맛도 음미하고 좋은 얘기도 나누고 그런 모습이 되게 좋아 보이던 거예요. 그래가지고 나도 약간 저런 술을 만들고 싶다 보다 오히려 저런 공간을 만들고 싶다 그렇게 해가지고 좀 문화랑 같이 제주의 전통주가 어우러지는 공간을 만들고 싶다라는 생각에 창업을 하게 되었습니다.
please?
Yes, so there are various reasons for starting the brewery. The most significant influence he mentioned came from his great-grandmother, who brewed 오메기술 and 고소리술, and other traditional liquors of Jeju as well. As a result, as he grew up, the scenes of feeling of his great-grandmother's making liquor, he says, stuck with him. However, after graduating from college and entering the society, he said he didn't particularly like liquor, especially due to the drinking culture in Korea, particularly like during the company gatherings. He said in the past it used to be more intense with a culture of drinking excessively. And experiencing that, he said he recalled the atmosphere of his great-grandmother brewing liquor and the community gathering on the porch to enjoy the taste and share good stories. Although he couldn't drink at a young age, he found it very enjoyable to witness such scenes among the adults. So that was how he developed an appreciation for liquor. He wanted to create a space that captured the ambience of his grandmother had cultivated rather than just intending to make liquor. As a result, he founded Ishibo Makgeolli to create a space where Jeju traditional liquors come together.
So it seems his great-grandmother so had a significant impact in him, continuing like the family legacy and tradition. So what role does he primarily like play at Ishibo Brewery?
Yes, so it's a small company, and actually they only have one employee, he mentioned. So he mainly focuses on the recipe development and takes responsibility for like marketing and overall company operations. They officially started the business actually in 2021, and the current location is in Daejeong-up. And they built the brewery there, and their first makgeolli actually came out in July 2022.
I mean, that's a very recent, right?
Recent, yes.
So it's a relatively like new tradition liquor company in Jeju. But I noticed, it's quite like popular. I've also actually heard about Ishibo Makgeolli quite often actually, and the tourists in Jeju seem to love it as well.
Yes, so he mentioned there aren't many products continuing Jeju's tradition, and places handling Jeju traditional liquors are also rare as well. So the steady branding efforts made by Bugyeongcheol seems to have contributed to this popularity.
So earlier, the owner mentioned that places where alcohol is present creates a culture space.
Yes.
And it's quite a profound perspective. So what does he mean by that?
So in the Humans of Jeju before, if you remember, we introduced like meditation center Tullang.
Yeah.
Along with the center and other places like taste enjoyment spaces like Seodamche and Seoul's venue Yeonnam Bangakgan. Ishibo Makgeolli has collaborated in many projects. So the owner Bugyeongcheol has used Ishibo Makgeolli as a medium to connect with various people and engage in diverse cultural activities. So why don't we listen more in depth the story directly from him first?
Great.
제가 제일 좋아하는 위스키가 아일라 위스키인데 그 아일라도 되게 작은 섬이고 제주도도 섬인데 왜 저쪽 섬은 세계적으로 술로 유명한 섬이 되고 제주도는 그러지 못할까라고 생각을 해가지고 양조장을 하게 된 거고 그 문화랑 연관되어지는 거는 항상 술이 있던 곳에 문화가 자리 잡았었어요. 프랑스 같은 경우에도 와이너리 창고에서 대혁명 이럴 때 거기서 회의를 한다던가 아니면 한국에서도 주막에서 모든 얘기들이 그런 곳에서 나오고 한국의 전통주 문화의 가장 큰 장점은 집집마다 술을 만들었었어요. 그래서 한국의 문화는 가양주 문화가 가장 대표적이거든요. 조선시대 때는 주세가 없었어요. 그래서 집집마다 술을 만들었었고 제사가 있으면은 자기 집에서 만든 술을 올리는 게 원래 원칙이었던 거예요. 그래서 그런 문화랑 관련돼서 문화 콘텐츠를 하면서 많은 사람들한테 이런 좋은 전통주도 있고 이런 거를 집에서 빚어서 먹을 수도 있다. 그리고 또 내가 직접 만든 술로 먹는 술이 더 재밌고 맛있다라는 거를 알리면서 그런 가양주 문화를 좀 알리고 싶은 맥락이 좀 크다고 볼 수 있을 것 같아요.
Would you please tell us?
Yes, so he mentioned actually he used to prefer whiskey over Korean traditional liquors. While considering establishing a whiskey brewery, he discovered that Scotland, globally renowned for its whiskey, is entirely composed of islands. So realizing that his favorite Islay whiskey is also produced on an island, he said he became very curious about it. Both Jeju and whiskey producing regions are islands, so he wondered why the spirits produced on those islands are globally famous, while those from Jeju are not. This curiosity led to the start of cultural content at Ishibo Brewery. So according to his perspective, wherever there is alcohol, there has always been a culture. For instance, he mentioned during the French Revolution, meetings were held in wine warehouses, and even in Korea, significant discussions took place in taverns. Even in the past in Korea, despite historical ban on alcohol, people continued to make liquor, and it contributed to the development of the culture here in Korea. However, he feels that such culture is fading in Korea today with the prevalent attitude of simply pouring and drinking, or considering alcohol merely as a mean to get drunk.
All right. I mean, as he's, at the age, like young age, as, he's kind of like doing a lot of collaboration with other companies. And it seems like he brings this culture into, new generation as well. So thinking about the, simultaneous like presence of alcohol and cultural revolution in history makes me feel that, the attitude like toward alcohol might change a bit.
Yes, indeed. And he mentioned such a culture exists in Korea as well, known as Gayangju culture. So Gayangju culture refers to the tradition of brewing alcohol for ancestral rites and nature spirits, deeply rooted from the Joseon dynasty. Especially with important rituals occurring every season, as custom of offering and performing rites became significant, meticulously brewed alcohol became an essential part of these rituals. So he mentioned during the Joseon dynasty, every household brewed alcohol similar to how kimchi is made today.
Yeah.
However, during the Japanese occupation and the Korean War, there was a shortage of grains, leading to prohibition on brewing alcohol. Since then, this culture gradually disappeared. He mentioned that not only himself, but all those currently making traditional liquors are striving to carry on this Gayangju culture. Thus, he is creating various cultural spaces and Ishibo cultural content to inform more people about the existence of such excellent traditional liquors, the possibility of brewing them at home, the joy of consuming personally made alcohol, and how delicious it can be.
I mean, you know what? Like, the sound of like liquors that it makes my mouth watery.
You know what? That's what's happening to my mouth too. Yes.
I mean, yeah, he's working to promote Korean traditional liquor culture, especially the Gayangju culture. That's very interesting. I'm really curious about the, what homemade liquor tastes like. Seriously. So we've been talking about the story of Mr. Bu Kyung-chul, the representative of Ishibo Makgeolli, who inherited the business from his great-grandmother and is now producing traditional liquor on Jeju. So I'm curious about like what it means to him, to continue this legacy.
Yes, so let's listen to what he mentioned first.
Great.
증조할머니가 하셨으니까 할아버지 건너뛰고 아버지 건너뛰면 4대에 다시 시작하는 거라고 볼 수 있죠. 네, 제가 한 어렸을 때 한 초등학교 3학년까지는 증조할머니가 살아 계셨어요. 되게 오래 정정하게 사셨었는데 크면서 부모님이나 뭐 할아버지한테 들었을 때 되게 좋으신 분이었다. 되게 많이 나눠주고 베풀고 뭐 그랬다고 하셨는데 그런 모습을 조금 이어가고 싶다라는 뜻은 있는데 엄청나게 특별한 뭐 비장한 그런 각오 이런 거는 아니고 그냥 증조할머니께서도 하셨었으니까 저도 그런 좋은 술을 좀 만들어 보고 싶다라는 정도의 의미가 있는 것 같아요.
Would you please tell us?
Yes, so according to him, he didn't directly inherit the business through generations, as he started again in the fourth generation, skipping his grandfather and father. However, it's true that he took up his great-grandmother's work from a long time ago. His great-grandmother lived a very long life and passed away when he was in third grade of elementary school. He later heard stories about his great-grandmother from his parents, discovering that she was a very generous and caring person who loved sharing with others. And inspired by her, he thought that if he could create good liquor like she did and share it with people, it would be very meaningful.
So the image of, 4 generations living together in a rural Jeju area, like brewing liquor on the porch while people gather to enjoy it is vivid in my mind. So owner Bugyongcha lived in the scene during his elementary school days. So it's like, it's like something we would see in a painting.
Yeah. So he mentioned that he primarily heard about those times through his grandfather. One memorable aspect he told was when his great-grandmother brewed omegisul. She would extract only the clear part and age it once more, and magically it turned dark like soy sauce. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And also he said his great-grandmother excelled in making 고소리술, which is a distilled liquor.
Yeah.
He mentioned when the distilled liquor was ready, there would be this oil floating on the top, and people who drank that oil on a plate would become heavily drunk.
Wow.
So he mentioned all this, and he said these stories stayed with him like a fairy tale.
고소리술 sounds like a stronger soju version. So although he witnessed the process of his great-grandmother brewing liquor, so he didn't directly inherit the knowledge. So since he was a child at the time, so then how did he learn about the process of making drinks?
Yes, so he mentioned initially he was a complete novice, not knowing where to start or learn. He said he started by watching YouTube videos on YouTube and experimenting at home.
Wow.
However, he realized that self-learning wasn't enough to make good liquor. During the preparation for Ishibo Brewery, he mentioned he joined the Deokkeun Nail Center in Jeju, where he studied the formal process of liquor making. He also attended courses at a traditional liquor education institution on the mainland, going through the entire process as well. Also, he attributes his ability to continue this work to the support of Jeju City. He said that they not only provided financial assistance, but also sent business experts for coaching, offering lessons on marketing, product production, and more.
Wow, nice. So from what I can gather from his voice and photos, he seems to have started this business at a relatively young age. I mean, he looks young. So seeing other friends who have stable job, did he ever feel overwhelmed or anxious about starting a business?
So before venturing into the liquor business, he said he was involved in music.
Oh.
And he mentioned feeling more uncertain and overwhelmed actually during that time. So interestingly, he feels much more stability in his current work, where he said he can visually see the results being built.
Yeah, so it seems like he carried some artistic qualities into, his entrepreneurship.
Yes, so let's listen directly from him about the relationship between music and business.
Great.
음악 약간 제가 사업을 하게 된 이유 중에 하나이기도 해요. 음악을 하다가 그만두게 되었던 이유도 결국에는 돈 벌이가 안 돼가지고 가난해서 그만두게 됐었는데, 그러면서 내려와가지고 어떻게 내가 왜 그렇게 좋아하던 음악을 못하게 됐을까 스스로 질문을 했을 때 결국에는 돈이 없어서 못하게 되었었고, 그러다 보니까 그런 관련된 책들을 계속 엄청나게 읽었어요. 투자책도 읽고 사업책도 읽고 뭐 부자들이 쓴 책도 읽고 했는데, 결론적으로 제가 제 기준에 내려진 판단은 돈을 많이 벌려면 2가지의 방법이 있고, 2가지가 투자를 하던가 사업을 하던가 라고 정의가 되어지었고, 그러다 보니까 계속 사업 쪽으로 나가게 됐던 것 같아요. 그리고 안정적인 직장이 지금의 제 판단에는 조금 더 불안하다고 저 스스로 느껴가지고 어느 정도의 리스크는 감내하면서 사업을 하고 있습니다.
Please.
Yes, so he mentioned music is actually the reason why he got into business. He stopped pursuing music because he couldn't make a living from it, essentially due to like financial difficulties. When he returned to Jeju after quitting music, he questioned himself about why he couldn't continue doing what he loved. And he said that the answer was simply lack of money.
Yeah.
So he delved into like reading intensively about making money, such as like investment books, business books, those written by successful, wealthy individuals and more. From that, he said he concluded that there are two main ways to make a lot of money.
Why, it has to be always money. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, so one he mentioned is investing and other is starting a business. So he said he chose the path of business, and nowadays he feels that a stable job is considered actually more unstable and he's willing to endure a certain level of risk to continue his current work.
So originally his dream was to be a musician. How did that goal change?
So he mentioned that changing what he does doesn't necessarily mean changing the goal of life. Despite the apparent difference between music and business and running a brewery, his ultimate goal is to be someone who inspires others.
Thank God.
Although becoming a direct inspiration as an artist faced setbacks, he found the path to be a person who can inspire in different ways. Also, he mentioned that the fact that many artists love alcohol also played a role in his decision as well. So he thought about creating something that inspires people and projected it onto the world of alcohol.
I wish I could hear, his music someday. Artists who love alcohol like Hemingway, Van Gogh, or others, have indeed found inspiration in it, and I do as well. Even though he changed his direction in life, he seems like to have maintained his life purpose, which is very admirable.
Yes, so he became a wise entrepreneur who filled the financial gap he faced while pursuing music, achieving his life goal, and continuing the rare tradition of his great-grandmother's work in Jeju.
Beautiful. So today on Humans of Jeju, we're talking about the story of Bu Kyung-chul, the representative of 25 Makgeolli, who continues the tradition of making Jeju traditional liquor.
So he mentioned experiencing financial difficulties during his adolescence, and during those tough times, he found inspiration in music. That was when he said he set a goal to become someone who could inspire others in the same way.
Wow. So he had deep thoughts, even from a young age. And I'm quite inspired by him, It's not easy to make a drink by that age. Then, despite facing those challenges, what does he want to achieve in the future? Any plans or aspirations?
So as mentioned earlier, he sees Jeju Island as a place famous for alcohol, just like Scotland can be. And making it as an island of liquor is 25's ultimate goal. So should we listen more about his plans step by step?
Yes, please.
음악을 해서 그런지는 모르겠는데 좀 25의 전체적인 흐름을 세 막이라고 많이 나눠서 생각을 하고 있어요. 첫 번째 1막은 제가 처음 술 사업을 시작하는 단계, 제가 배운 거를 직접적으로 한번 만들어 보는 과정이고, 두 번째 2막은 저희 증조할머니 레시피를 조금 갖고 와가지고 다시 복원을 해보고 싶다라는 계획이 있어요. 마지막으로 3막은 위스키 증류소를 만드는 거고, 그렇게 하려고 하면은 일단 제주도에도 보리가 굉장히 많이 생산을 하고 있고, 지금 여기가 신돌이라는 지역인데 옛날부터 그 땅도 되게 비옥해가지고 곡식 농사를 많이 하던 동네라고 하시더라고요. 그럼 보리들 가지고 보리 소주를 만드는데 좀 오크통의 숙성도 해보고 다양한 테스트로 좀 제주만의 술을 만들어 보고 싶은 게 25의 목표이자 계획입니다.
What does he say?
Yes, so considering his past as a musician, he divided his plans and goals into 3 acts. The first act was the initial phase when he started this venture, attempting the methods he had learned for making alcohol. He said he's currently preparing for the second act, and this will happen probably next year, he mentioned.
Wow.
It involves restoring his great-grandmother's past recipes, making 오메기술 and 고소리술 using her methods.
Finally.
And the third act is to establish a whiskey brewery, which is his favorite type of alcohol. But it's not just about that. He aims to produce alcohol using only Jeju-grown barley. The current location of Ishibo Brewery is in Shindori Village. And historically, Shindori and Gosanri Village were known for the fertile land and abundant grain cultivation. So his final goal is to cultivate crops and create Jeju's unique alcohol using Jeju ingredients.
Wow, it's interesting. I mean, that's such an, inspiring story. So I really look forward to, unfolding stages of Ishibo's journey, especially Act 3 and 2 as well. So now for the final questions, where on Jeju Island did he recommend for our listeners, Camellias?
So he lives in the western part of Jeju, and he recommends watching the sunset from Ishibo Brewery. He mentioned that the sunset in the western part of Jeju is truly beautiful, and that the area is one of the rare flatlands in Jeju Island.
Oh my God, I definitely look forward to Ishibo's future endeavors. Thank you so much for your, sharing today's Humans of Jeju,
no
Humans
problem.
of J.
No problem. Yes. Humans of J, yes.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed the segment. If you're curious to find out more about Jeju, we encourage you to go check out our website at arirangradio.com/Wonders of Jeju, or you can check out our Facebook page at Wonders of Jeju, as well as our Instagram account at WOJ_Arirang. We are going to take you on a journey to learn more about what's happening on this island.